Hey y'all, what's up? It's me. It is Everything Fresh and Sassy. How are you? I hope all is well with you. I do, mind, body, spirit, and in health. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was 4 minutes into the video, but you know, sometimes I think that I'm ready and I'm not, and I had to run and go get my water. I thought I brought it upstairs, and when I'm in this room, for some reason, I almost lose my voice when I start talking in this room. So I had to have some water, and I had to grab something else. And then someone's trying to call me. It's my son. But anyway, I'm doing a live, so he'll have to call me back, or I'll have to call him back. But I wanted to come back because in my last video, did I greet you? Did I greet you? If I didn't, hello. I hope you are having a wonderful day today. And I hope that all is well with you. I do. Mind, body, spirit, and in health. And if I did that twice, oh well. I still continue to wish you well in each and every endeavor that you have, and that you are well in every aspect of your life, okay? So, the last video I did, yeah, I was a little riled in that video, and that's just how I was feeling. And I also said that I was going to come back and do a video where I talked about how to file a cease and desist complaint. And let's just talk about filing a cease and desist a little bit before we get into the things that I wanted to tell you about how to do so. If you are here on YouTube, Facebook, trying to call the other social media platform names, Instagram, TikTok, if you are existing on any social media platform, just about all of them have some sort of guidelines about how people are supposed to conduct themselves. They also have guidelines and rules against harassment, bullying, etc. If you're being harassed or bullied on social media, you shouldn't be. Again, most platforms have rules and regulations against such activity. If you find yourself in the midst of such activity, I would recommend, this is just my recommendation based on what my experience has been with harassment and threats and things like that. I'm just telling you what my experience has been. You need to nip it in the bud immediately. Immediately, because sometimes, you know, I understand there are people who have imbalances. I understand that, okay? But you have to nip it in the bud and stop it immediately. And in my situation, I didn't stop it immediately. I only suggested to the person who was making false allegations against me, who was harassing me, I only suggested to them, look, if you think you're being harassed, and even if you think it's me, you should report me to the police. You should report me to the authorities. You should report me to the YouTube platform, whatever platform. And I told this person this in 3 separate videos in a playlist that I have on my channel called Just So You Understand. I think it's either Just So You Understand or Just So You Know. But that's the name of the playlist. And in those 3 videos, I gave them directions on how to handle being bullied, harassed, etc. Because, first of all, don't keep saying that I'm doing something that I'm not doing and you have no proof. And because I clearly wasn't harassing this person. They just didn't like the things that I had to say. They didn't like, based on their own personal opinion, they didn't like the things I had to say. Now, that I can't do anything about, because we all have an opinion. We all have a right to believe one way or another, as long as we are not, well, I won't even say that, because then that's not true. And I don't want to make any untrue statements, so I won't say what I was about to say. But I told this person, do the right thing. Have this situation investigated. Contact your district attorney, that person's district attorney, where they live, the people that are harassing you. Okay? Contact the FTC, the FCC, the social media platform that you're existing on. Contact these people. Let them know what's going on. They will investigate. But I also said in all 3 of those videos, be careful, because when you accuse somebody, not only are they going to investigate the person that you're saying is the perpetrator, but they're going to investigate you too. And for whatever reasons, this person would never move forward in reaching out. Who has that on? They'll turn it off. They turned on the wrong one. They did not reach out to the person, or kind of lost my place in what I was saying because I was listening to what was going on. But they never would follow through with reaching out to anybody that would rectify a situation had it been me harassing them. But the reason why they couldn't reach out to anybody was because it wasn't me harassing them. They've existed on this platform for a number of years, and they've had a number of people come for them, but they never thought it was one of them. Okay? This individual always thought it was me. And like I said, I did 3 videos, and I said, even if you think it's me, report me. Because they can check my IP address. You won't see any emails or any crazy messages coming from my phone, my computer. No, you won't. And I think this person knew that and didn't want to embarrass themselves. So that's why they didn't do all these things that they said they were going to do, because they said they had a whole task force waiting for me. Just telling a bunch of lies. This person, I don't know. But anyway, it became necessary because ever since that person threatened me, or threatened the youngest of my family, ever since then, I've been sitting in the bushes quietly, observing. Never commented up until 2020, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I never commented. I just sat and I observed, because I'm keeping my finger on the pulse, so to speak, because this individual made a threat. At that point, I should have taken action then, and I didn't. My fault. I should have immediately called the police in that person's area, and I didn't. I should have. But it doesn't matter, because I still have the recording. I took, and I'm going to get into that as well. But I should have done something about it then, and I didn't. So my advice is, first of all, if you're being harassed or bullied on social media, don't let it go on and on and on. Because I think what happens in some instances, these individuals think they're going to get a rise out of you. So they keep at it. They'll say things about you that aren't true because they want to get some type of a rise out of you, And while I guess they didn't get the raise out of me that they thought they would get, they just kept picking. And oftentimes I would let their comments go. And every now and then I would have to jab back that devil with her own pitchfork. Every now and then I would have to, and I would come out and make a video and say, look, okay? But when these sort of things happen, I think it's important to address it and tell these people to cut it off, to knock it off, and stop. Don't let it linger. This has gone on since 2011. This has been going on back and forth, all right? And not that much forth from me, or not that much back from me, but a whole lot of forth from the perpetrator, right? So, like I said, I think it's important to address these types of things immediately. Don't allow it to linger. Don't allow, people to harass or bully or make false statements about you, because as I talked about in the other video, I talked about libel and slander. Slander is when you speak something that's not true about a person. That's slander. Libel is when you write something down or you type something for other people to see that's not true about an individual or a group or whatever. That's called libel, all right? And this in my situation, it was both libel and slander, okay? So there's the harassment. Libel and slander are the same thing and are often treated the same way, because both of them have to do with someone speaking untruth about you. Okay? That's what libel and slander are. But one is spoken slander, one is written libel. Okay? And depending on where the perpetrator lives, they can be held accountable for libel and slander, and can get, you can receive punitive damages for the harassment that you receive this way. There is, so there's harassment, libel, slander, same thing. One is written, one is spoken. Bullying. These things are not tolerated on most social media platforms. And what you need to do is read the guidelines. And oftentimes there's an address and or telephone number where you can submit a copy of your complaint, your letter, whatever you want to do. Well, not whatever you want to do, but we're talking about libel and slander. But you can submit a copy of that document to those social media platforms that have rules. And you can use their verbiage about social media rules, especially when you're doing your document that you're sending to that individual for cease and desist, especially in your complaint. If it has to go to court, you want to cite the rules and the regulations and how that person infracted upon your rights with their rules on their social media platform. So what I'm saying is, let me make it just, what I'm trying to say is, when you do a cease and desist letter, okay, for instance, I did a cease and desist letter, right? I got the rules from YouTube about what about what YouTube's standards are or rules are for libel, slander, harassment, and bullying. So you want to go to YouTube section about slander, harassment, libel, bullying, and you want to copy and paste their rules about libel, slander, harassment, etc. You want to copy and paste those rules into that document. And you want to say, and this is how this individual infracted against me with these rules that this social media platform has on these different topics of libel, slander, harassment, bullying, etc. Okay? You want to cite that, because when you're in court, not only is the judge considering how this person infracted against you based on the state laws and federal laws on cyberbullying, harassment, and all that, but you've also got another, another count. You know how they say count 1, libel, count 2, slander, count 3, harassment, count 4. She was held on 4 counts of, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so you want to be able to bullet point each one of those items and how that individual went against those rules when they were dealing with you, or when they were libeling your name, or slandering your name, or harassing you, or bullying you, whatever. But you want to make sure that you have all the, so if they were slandering and harassing you or bullying you on YouTube, you want to have those rules inserted into your cease and desist complaint. If they were harassing you on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, you want to have their rules cut and pasted into your document as well. Okay? So that's one thing. The other thing that I mentioned is don't let this linger. The moment it starts, okay, you can give somebody 1 chance, 2 chances, 3 chances. After the 3rd chance, that's it. That's it. Nip it in the bud and tell them, send them a cease and desist letter. And a cease and a desist letter basically is a letter that you write that says, stop it. Then you want to note what you're asking them to stop. And you need to be very specific. You cannot be vague. You have to be very specific. This is what you did on this date. This is what you said on this date. And I want this to stop. Okay? But you write down all the things that they've said, all the things that they have done to harass you. You do that. Okay? And then at the end of the letter, you say, this needs to stop. And then the other part of your letter says, and they have sample letters. All you got to do is go to Google, find one that, fits you. Now, most of these letters that I went through on Google, they wanted you to input your name, your address, your telephone number, your email. I don't need nobody, all up in my business like that I have not personally engaged to be my legal counsel. Okay? One thing you can do is work with a law student who has I forget what you call it, but most law students have it starts with a P. I want to say purveyor, but that's not the right word. But this is the person that kind of chaperones them through their law school education and make sure that, they're getting their assignments and, they're keeping on course with their law school education, right? It starts with a P. I can't call the name of it, but that's who I've worked with. It was going to be anywhere between $500 and $800 to have an attorney write a cease and desist letter for me. And after doing my research, I saw that you can do your own cease and desist letter and do so quite effectively. But you want to get a copy of one off of Google so that you can at least see the format. Now, I formatted mine different. And I'll tell you why I formatted mine different. I don't see this situation that I have going on, I don't see it being worked out unless we go to court. I don't think we can work this out in a civil manner because based on the dynamics on the defendant's side, I don't know, because this has gone on for so long. And this was not initiated by me. It was initiated by the defendant. And apparently this person didn't like the fact that I had wrote under her video how the Affordable Care Act came about. She didn't like it. She got upset. She started calling me stupid and dumb to everybody in the comments. And so I deleted the comment and I apologized to her after I deleted the comment. And the next thing I know, she's making all these videos about me. I then tried to apologize 6 more times. She wasn't having it. And I don't know what kind of person I don't know the mentality of a person who, when someone does something to them and they're offended, it's not like I punched her in the face or I called her stupid or, I did something. It's not like I did. I'm sorry, my daughter was trying to call me. She'll have to come up here and tell me what she has to tell me. It's not like I did anything heinous towards her, and I apologized when I understood that, she didn't like what I had to say. And all I said was how the Affordable Care Act came about, right? Go figure. and all of this because of that. So I don't know what I'm dealing with. I don't know what I'm dealing with. So that's why I say I don't believe that this can be worked out outside of a court of law. I think it's going to have to be worked out in court. So the way that I formatted, the reason why I said that was because I formatted mine differently. I said I was going to show a copy, but I don't want to, of course I don't want to show the copy of my document. But the way I formatted mine almost like a complaint that you would send with, if you've ever sued somebody before, there's a particular format where you have to put a number before each sentence. You put like 1, and then you write the sentence, and then you put 2, the next sentence. And it has to be double spaced. I didn't number my lines, because then when the judge goes through it and someone says, well, back on page 37, line 5, it's easy for the court to have to find whatever you're referring to. I didn't write it that way, but and I didn't double space it, but I wrote it so that it identifies defendant, plaintiff throughout the document. That's all I did. Because, again, I don't believe it's going to be worked out outside of a courtroom. I believe this has to go to trial because there's no talking to this. There's no talking. So, anyway, so the first thing you want to do if you're being harassed, okay, find yourself a good cease and desist letter. Find that first. On the platforms where you're being harassed, whether it's one platform, whether it's YouTube platform, Instagram, whatever, you want to go to that platform and get the rules about being harassed, bullied, cyberbullied. You want to get all those rules and cut and paste those into the document. Now, I noticed in the letter, the sample of the letter that I used, it said, "Dear so-and-so, you are receiving this cease and desist letter for the following reasons." I didn't put dear, I just put the person's name, Miss or Mr. So-and-so. You're receiving this letter because. That's how I started. I didn't want to, I couldn't put dear. I just couldn't. But I wrote my complaint, and I used the format that I found on Google. And the one that I found, that I will put in the description box after the video is over. But I used a, what do you call that? A template from Google. And I think Pages on Apple has a template for such a document. You can check that out as well. And again, you want to list the rules. So if you, okay, so you have Mr. John Doe, you're receiving this letter to cease and desist for the following reasons, and then you state why you're sending them this letter. On such and such date, at such and such time, you did this, you said that. On such and such date, at such and such time, you did this, you did that. If you don't have the dates and times, it's okay. But what you really have to have is your evidence. Don't put anything in that document that you don't have evidence for, because the judge is going to ask you when it goes to court, where's your evidence of this? How do you know this was done? How do you know this was said? You have to have evidence. You either have to have a screenshot, a video, and there was one other thing, a screenshot, a video, but have a screenshot and a video of everything that you are bringing against this person, okay? And list them line item by line item, okay? Try to keep it, you want to keep it as concise and brief as possible, but in doing so, you also have to be very detailed, because even in the directions that I looked at, when writing this letter, it says you cannot be vague. You have to give specifics. You have to be very detailed, but at the same time, keep it concise. Like, I found myself a few times where I had written the same thing 3 times, and I don't know if I was just agitated by that one particular item and it just kept coming up in my head and I kept typing it, but I had a few places like that where I had to delete 2 things because I had already said it once. But you have to be concise, you have to be detailed. You know, this particular action happened on this date at this time, and this is what was said, and you have to be, they want you to be verbatim. What did this person say exactly? Word for word for word. They need that, okay? That's going to help your case. If you're just saying, well, she said that I had a bunch of babies by a bunch of different men. Okay, well, how did she say it exactly? You got to have it word for word. Oh, I know what I was going to say. You either have to have video of what they said, you have to have it in print of what they said, or you need a witness. Those are the 3 things you're going to need. One of 3 or all 3. You have to have your evidence. If you don't have your evidence about what these people have, or what this individual has said about you or done to harass you, you might as well not even go to court. I'm telling you right now, you're almost wasting your time. That's my opinion, okay? Maybe you can get by with just saying, well, she said or he said. Maybe you can get by with that. But it is best that you have your evidence. If you don't have evidence against the person, I don't know. I wouldn't go to court with it. I wouldn't even bother with the matter, you know. But I don't want to see people to continuously be harassed, cyberbullied, whatever. I don't want to see that happen to anybody. So I don't want to say don't go through with it. You can at least send a cease and desist. Because once someone receives a cease and desist and they keep at it, they keep doing these things, you have the right to take them to court and sue them for any punitive damages, court costs, attorney fees, etc. You have the right to do all of that once you have sent the cease and desist. Now, here's the other thing about cease and desist. Not every state requires a cease and desist letter. So depending on where the perpetrator lives, you want to look in their city, their state, and see, can you immediately take them into court for libel, slander, harassment, bullying, etc.? Can you immediately take them to court, or do you have to file cease and desist? Okay, so for instance, in the state of Virginia, if I were going to sue somebody for libel, slander, harassment, etc. in the state of Virginia, I would first have to send them a cease and desist letter. I could not just take them right into court, all right? So you send them the cease and desist letter. You tell them what your complaint is, you know, how they have been harassing you. You tell them you want this activity to stop immediately. And if they agree to stop, then they are to sign that cease and desist document, sign it, date it, and send it back to you. Now, here's the other part. They don't have to sign it, okay? They don't have to sign it. However, if in fact you've sent them the letter and they come back a month or two later and they start up again, you can take that letter, attach it to the court complaint, because you have to fill out the court complaint. They have a form you have to fill out. Attach it to the court complaint, get yourself a court date, drag them into court, and Your Honor, I asked this person to stop. I sent them a cease and desist letter, and they kept right on going with these activities listed in the cease and desist document, okay? And then the judge will decide, what will happen after that. So that's the way it goes in some states. Some states, I got to plug up my phone. It's about to die. Hold on 1 second. Which one's closer? Chloe? Mama? Okay, so did the chicken turn off?
Yeah.
What'd you do with it? Did you take it out?
No.
Okay, take it out and just leave it covered, okay?
Okay.
I'm almost done. Sorry for yelling. So, after they have received that letter, and if they keep going with the harassment, the bullying, whatever, you can take them to court. The judge will decide, well, what's your excuse? Why are you harassing this person? And they'll have their say, you'll have your say, and then the judge makes a decision. And it's their word, or it's you against them. So I guess I'm trying to say, well, I'm not going to say that. Anyway, nip it in the bud. File your cease and desist. Don't put up with harassment and bullying long term, because it won't go away. It seems like it gets worse. It gets worse, and you don't want it to get worse, okay? So we talked about the complaint, Googling a copy of a good cease and desist letter. I will put a link to, I think I still have the one that I used. I'll put that in the description after the video. We talked about your evidence. Whatever evidence you have, whether it's videos, pictures, or witnesses, that will come to court with you, or do an affidavit, okay? So if someone, if you have someone who's a witness and, you've asked them if they would testify, they may be able to do an affidavit, and that might be enough, okay? So once your cease and desist letter is done, you want to send, first of all, a copy to the defendant. Hold on. You want to send a copy to the defendant. Any social media platforms, like if they were harassing you on YouTube, you want to send it a copy to YouTube as well. And I'll give you the address in just a second. I have to pull it up on my computer. But if you've been harassed, bullied, libeled, slandered, you want to send a copy to whatever social media platform that has occurred on. So you would send a copy to the defendant, send a copy to the social media platform where this occurred at. You can go as far as sending a copy to the police where they live, and a copy to the district attorney. It's up to you. And as I said, I think I mentioned this earlier, you want to give them X amount of days, 10 days, 14 days, whatever you deem appropriate. and they need to sign it by then. Now, what if they don't sign it? Well, it's okay. They don't have to sign it. I've already said they don't have to sign it. You can take them straight to court. If they don't sign within that 10 days and you haven't heard from them, they haven't done a video where they have retracted their comments, their statements, they haven't done a video or sent you a letter of apology, and then also in the letter, you want to tell them how you want them to make amends. It is requested that you make a video retracting each statement. So if they said, you knocked an old lady down in the middle of the street, then they need to retort that and say, and I want to retract my statement of you knocking down an old lady across the street. Okay? Everything that you want them to retort, or not retort, but retract, you need to list that. And they need to retract that statement line item by line item. So if you've got 4 different items, you want them to line item by line item retract those statements. If you want them to say, I'm sorry, I apologize, put that in there. If you want them to make a video and post it on YouTube for public viewing, okay, you can tell them that. If they don't agree to any of it or whatever, then you can take the next step, okay? I talked about harassment, cyberbullying, bullying, libel, slander, but there's this thing called intentional omission. That's where people will make a statement, but they'll leave out very pertinent information. Intentional omission. And let me give you an example. There's a situation. And I have to, let me back up, because I'm using me, I'm the example, and I'm telling you exactly what happened to me. This individual went to someone's social media platform and wrote a statement that said I needed to stop sending things to her home. Things, plural, it was plural, and it was in writing. And this person used their business name to write this statement, which I think is a very poor business judgment, that you would use your business name to libel, slander someone's name, because I've never seen a business come out and speak against an individual. I've never seen that before. And I owned a business, and I've never seen that before. Some people, I don't know, I think they need to spend some time with their local chapter of, what do you call that thing that helps people in business? Starts with a C. Anyway, but this person used their business name to libel my name in front of an audience of over 250 people. 250 people have seen that video. And I just thought, number one, that was a poor business decision on her part. But she made a couple of statements, and one was that I needed to stop sending things to her house. Let me tell you something. This person has been at this since 2012 or 11. Okay? And come 2018, things changed in her home. And for almost 2 years, I didn't hear anything from her. She stopped making videos about me. She got quiet. And I was like, okay, this works. You know, she didn't have anything to say to or about me. I didn't have anything to say to or about her. But then things changed again. And I guess she got bored. So in 2020, this individual reached out to me. Okay? 2 years. There was no back and forth. There was nothing between us. Nothing. For almost 2 years. And so in 2020, January 9th, 2020, I got a comment in my comment section. I did a video called The Simple Things. I put that video on private because I don't want anything to happen to it. But it was a quick video. It was a short. And it was a video about, I had an alarm clock that actually, you know, the old alarm clocks with the two bells on top of it. I had an alarm clock, I had a toaster, and I had an old-fashioned dial phone, right? And I made a short about these three old things, and I was talking about the simple things, right? And so under the video, this individual wrote, "Nice video." I haven't heard or seen nothing from this person in 2 years. I didn't respond. I said nothing. I did another video where I think I cooked something, and she gave me a thumbs up, and she said, "That looks good." She said, "That looks good." I'm like, all this over the last few years, and now you're reaching out, and the first one said, "Nice video." I don't remember exactly what the message said, but I got them, okay? Because I'm looking and I couldn't believe it. And I looked at it, I screenshotted it, I took it over to the window and looked at it again. I'm like, is this for real? Did she really just send me a nice comment? Not one, but 2 comments. That was on January 9th, 2020. I was like, okay. All right. So I said, okay, maybe she's turned over a new leaf. Maybe this is her way of saying she's sorry. I don't know. So I said, okay, she's being nice. She's trying to, I guess, make amends. I guess this is her way of making amends. So I said, okay. So she was talking about she was on TikTok. And I said, okay, well, you know, she supported me. I'll support her. So she did about 4 videos, and I gave her a thumbs up and a nice, simple, benign, cordial comment. Just something quick. "Oh, nice video. That looks good too." You know, just quick, simple, thumbs up. That's it. All right. She showed me support. I would show her support, right? So she commented on about 4 of my videos. I commented on about 4 of her videos. So then this individual started making videos, and it sounded like she was taking jabs at me, and I was like, no. Really? Is she taking jabs at me after she just sent me 4 comments under 4 videos and thumbs up and, really? No, she's not talking to me. Seriously, really? So, right around just before, I think it was March, I had, announced that I was no longer vegan. That's when the stuff went left. And the videos started coming even more. And she's making videos talking about people are going to die from colorectal cancer if they continue to eat meat. I'm like, who would cast that type of aspersion on anybody? But I'm still trying not to take none of this personal. I'm like, she wasn't talking to me. That was meant for somebody back there. That was meant for that person. No, not me. No. So a few more videos came, and it was clear because, we know how we throw shade on YouTube. We know how it's done. Where we use a catchphrase. Like, for instance, I used to say, "Don't believe what I say, research what I say." And so this person would do the same thing. Now, after all the years I've been saying that, now they're saying that. So I knew when they used that catchphrase in the video that they were directing that video at me, So before that happened, though, before the onslaught of videos came on, she came to her channel on TikTok and she was lamenting about how her business wasn't doing well. And I'm like, oh, man. And she was like she wanted to give up. And so I wrote her a really nice review on her website. I never heard anything back. I never heard thank you or anything. And I was like, well, really, where would she respond? Because it was the review section of her website. So I said, well, I guess there's no place for her to respond and say thank you or whatever. So I just left it alone. I didn't say anything. So then she did another video where she was yet again lamenting about her business not doing well. Now, mind you, when I did the first note that I sent to her on her website, I said, listen, don't give up. You know, it takes a while for businesses to turn around. It usually takes anywhere from 2 to 5 years before you really start to see a good return on what you've put into your business. I said, so don't give up, keep your chin up, stay with it, stick with it. It's a great thing that you do to want to feed people and educate people about healthy eating. I left her like a paragraph, a good paragraph, encouraging her. Don't give up. It's going to take at least 2 to 5 years. Hang in there. Okay? Like I said, she didn't respond. And there really, I don't think there would have been a place for her to respond because it was the review section of her website. So anyway, nothing was said. Okay? So then she came back like a month later and she was lamenting yet again about her business not doing well. So I said, you know what? I'm going to send her a bouquet of flowers. I'm going to send her some flowers. And I saw her business listed on Google. And under her business listing on Google, it shows the address. So I sent the flowers to that address. I called a florist near that address. And I said, I'd like to send a bouquet of flowers to, here's my name, here's my address, here's my telephone number. And I used my debit card to pay for the flowers. So there was no ill will or bad intentions meant in sending her this bouquet of flowers. That was 2020. Now this person has come along in 2023, 3 years later, and in front of an audience of all these people, says she needs to stop sending things, plural, to my home. Well, I guess if you get a bouquet of flowers, there is more than one flower in the vase, so maybe that's what she meant. I don't know. But if someone sends me a bouquet of flowers and I don't get anything before the bouquet of flowers and I don't get anything after the bouquet of flowers, I wouldn't say that this person is sending things to my home. I would say they sent me some flowers, but that was what was omitted from the truth, which was she sent me a bouquet of flowers. And I'm sure somewhere along the line the question will come up, well, did she send you anything before that? No. Did she send you anything after that? No. So she sent you one bouquet of flowers. Ma'am, did these flowers come from your house? Did you poison these flowers? Did you put anything nasty in these? No. The flowers came from a florist near the defendant's home. One bouquet of flowers. And now 3 years later, I'm sending things to her home. She said nothing in 2020. She didn't even say thank you in 2020 for the flowers. Okay? She had my name, address, telephone number. She could have sent a card. She could have called me. But you know what? It's okay that she didn't. I wasn't looking to get anything from her. I was trying to encourage and lift someone's spirits. But you know, I mentioned this the other day when I did that video. You know, sometimes an abused dog will try to bite you when you feed it. Because they're so used to being beat up and abused, they'll snap at you. If that's where that person is in their life, I'm sorry for them. That's a bad place to be. But 3 years have gone by. And this person said nothing until February 23, 2023. 3 years have gone by. And now the flowers were sent in 2020. And now all of a sudden in 2023, it's a problem. Now, all of a sudden in 2023, I'm sending things to her home. And that's not the truth. So that's what you call intentional omission, because she got before these people and she said, this person keeps sending things, plural, to my home. And that wasn't the truth. Someone should have asked her, well, what did she send you? You know, that would have been, it would have been interesting to see what her answer would have been, because she typed all of this under her business name on YouTube. Would have been interesting to see if she had told the truth and said, well, she sent me a bouquet of flowers. So this is why I believe this can't be worked out outside of a court of law, because I don't know what I'm dealing with. And it's best to nip these types of things in the bud, because you don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know what you're dealing with. You don't know who you're dealing with. You know, and I really don't want to know. And for some reason, this woman thinks that I'm trying to befriend her. She has her friend thinking that I'm trying to force my way into having a friendship with this woman. And I'm looking at the two of them like, are you all nuts? No new friends. Not looking for a friend. Was trying to encourage this individual. It meant nothing to me to spend, you know, whatever, to encourage or to do something nice for someone who I felt like, you know, oh, wow, you know, she's sorry. This is her way of saying sorry. You know, she's commenting on my video. She's made a mistake. She can't say, oops, sorry, y'all. I don't know why. Oh, did I turn it? Yeah, it's on. I don't know why it says it's going to turn off. It's charging. If this goes off, I don't know why. I got it plugged in. And the button, oh no, it's not on. Wait. Oh yes, it was on. So, but anyway. But yeah, this person thinks that one time she said that I wanted her to help me. I wanted her to help me get subscribers. And I'm like, first of all, I don't want to pay for any subscribers. I don't do that. So that wouldn't have been an option. I don't come here and ask people to comment, like, subscribe, or share. What other people do on their channel, you know, if you're making money, this is a job for some people. YouTube is a job for some people. Do your job. Get your money. Okay? I'm not looking to do that here. Matter of fact, as I mentioned in my last video, this channel, I'm not going to be on this channel very often because I want to start over. I have 6,000 subscribers on this channel, and for me, and just for me, I don't want any and everybody in my house. You know what I'm saying? So I want to start over. So I'm going over to my channel called Let Us Talk of Many Things. And I'm not going to allow that channel to really grow, because if you don't have a picture, if you don't do videos, if I don't have a rapport with you thus far, I won't accept the subscription, okay? Because I'm going to be looking at the subscriptions, and if there's no picture and you don't have any videos, I will block you. So, of course, you can come look at the videos, but you won't be able to comment. And I want to keep my subscription very small. Now, that's not going to stop people from watching my channel. It will probably keep my videos from being placed out into the algorithm, because I think when you have, you know, X amount of videos plus X amount of subscribers, you know, your videos get out more often and get put before the public more often. And that's okay, because I am quite cool with the 34 people that come and watch my videos each time I post. 34 people. The numbers have gone up by half that amount almost, where I get about 60 views, almost 68 views on a video. But like I said, I'm not trying to grow my channel. So I will be, this is probably going to be the last video that I do on this channel. The reason why I'm doing this video on this channel is because there's going to be very little to no activity on this channel. And the reason why this video is being done here, because I don't want to take any of this negativity to my new channel. I don't want any negativity. I don't want to have to address or talk about this again, either on this channel or on Let Us Talk of Many Things. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't. But the reason why I'm talking about it now is if someone is going through this, you don't have to. You can do the cease and desist letter. And from what I understand, oftentimes the cease and desist letter, I don't know why my nose is itching. Oftentimes it is said that the cease and desist letter is oftentimes effective by itself. I don't know if it's going to work in this in this instance. You know, I don't believe that it will. I honestly believe this has to go to court because I think that's the only way to get it stopped in this particular instance. Don't go by what I'm saying. If you're being harassed, bullied, lied on, don't let it go on. Don't let it go on. And as I said in the other video, it has lingered and lasted this long because I didn't nip this in the bud in the beginning. And that's why it has gone on for so long. But it stops here. It stops here. Okay? So if you're being bullied, if you're being harassed, I just want you to know you don't have to put up with this. Don't allow, because the longer you let this go on, I think people think that you're a pushover. And that's what I think this individual thinks, that I'm a pushover. Because I do come from a type of mentality where, you know, someone could slap me in my face 3 times and then come back to me and say, I can't pay my rent this month. Can you pay my rent? And I'll be like, oh, no, really? You can't? Sure, you know, here. And that's why I think a lot of times people see me as a pushover, because I forgive very easily. I don't hold grudges. You know, some people are one strikers. You make a mistake with them and it's like, you're out of here. But the same person who's a one striker doesn't understand why someone didn't call them on the phone when they had a problem with them. You embarrassed me on your live. You had the moderators throw me out. Couldn't you have called me and talked to me about it? But no, you're a one striker. You don't give a person a chance. See, the same way people judge other people, that's the same way they get judged. If you're a one striker, they're going to one strike you. They're not going to give you the opportunity to explain, or they're not going to give you the chance to talk to you and say, well, look, you know, you said this, you did that, and I didn't like it. And instead of that person coming to you and talking to you one-on-one, then they embarrassed you in front of a bunch of people and told the moderators to throw you out. The same way people judge other people is the same way they're going to be judged. But like I said, you know, I'm the type of person, someone can do me wrong 3 times over, 7 times over, and they will come back to me and ask me for help, and I'll be there to help them. And I think sometimes people see that in me and they feel like, well, she's not going to do anything. She's not going to say anything. She's allowed it this long. She's just going to allow it. And I did. It was, I am partially to blame for this because I allowed it to go on. I did not get this situation together when it started. There are other people who got this individual together quick, fast, and in a hurry. She's never called their names. She's never made videos about them. But me, she's had a field day. But it's no more now. It's cut off. And I won't stand for it anymore. I won't tolerate it anymore. I won't. And then to have someone lie on you in front of an audience of people, and then you have people in the audience who are siding with that individual, and they don't know her any more than they know me. But they're ready to jump on her bandwagon because that part, okay? So, and like I said, that's a very dangerous game when people start telling lies and say, oh, this person did something bad to me. They accosted me. They did this. They did that. And they're lying. That's a dangerous game to play. That's a very dangerous game to play. So that's why I say it's important to nip it in the bud. Don't let it last. Don't let it linger. Cut it off. Cut it off. Oh, and this is something else I wanted to say. On social media, there should be some housekeeping notes. And I think that, as long as YouTube has been around for 18, 19 years now, they should have some more guidelines. And people should have to sit through a YouTube class before they're allowed to even start viewing people's videos. I think that should be a thing. Before you can view videos on YouTube, you need to sit through this class and then take a little test at the end. And if you don't pass the test, you got to come back and do the class again, okay? But one thing you don't want to do on YouTube is make allegations against people. You know how people will say, so-and-so allegedly threw a tomato at her boyfriend. You shouldn't say that either, because supposing that goes to court, right? And then it's found out that person didn't throw a tomato at her boyfriend. That person can turn around, and anybody who said that person threw a tomato, they can be sued. So it's not even safe to use allegedly. If you don't know it to be true or to be factual, you probably shouldn't say it. Now, if you saw it written somewhere, it's well documented that said activity actually happened, you saw it happen, well then, okay. That's different. But alleging, that can get you in trouble too. Saying, well, it's alleged. You know how Wendy Williams used to say that? Yeah, that can get you in trouble. That can get you into a lot of trouble. So, and like I said in the other video, we saw what happened to, what is her name? Tasha K and Nicki Minaj. And Nicki Minaj is trying to seize from, I ain't even gonna say that, because that's what I heard on YouTube. And what that person might have said might not have been true. And then again, I could be in trouble. So, anyway. But I'll say it this way. If you don't have the money, they can seize property, goods, etc. You know, I'm not interested in getting any money from anybody. I have no desire to get any money from anybody. I just want people to learn, you know, you can't do, you can't say, you can't just run your mouth recklessly and say things about somebody that's not true. Okay? And there's penalties for doing so. And that's the lesson that needs to be learned in this situation. You can't do that. You can't just be running your mouth recklessly. Anyway, I made notes. I just want to make sure I said everything. Personal, liable, intentional omission. They don't have to respond. Oh, and keep your receipts. So when you send your document, it's best to send it FedEx, UPS, or certified mail. And then just keep a copy of your receipt from where you sent it. And then they gave me 2 receipts. They gave me the receipt that prints out the register, and then they gave me a paper receipt as well. But keep all your receipts showing that you sent the document to that person, and as well as your receipt from them receiving it. You want to keep all of that. So that's all I have to say about cease and desist. I can't stay here long. My dinner's almost ready. I was told to come upstairs, so I said, well, what am I going to do? So I said, I'd come here and do this video. Now, as I said, I'm not going to be doing any more videos on this channel. This will be the last video. If I do a video on this channel, it will be a live video, and it will have to be some sort of pressing situation. For instance, like an emergency or something like that. Or if I'm out of space on my phone, which I am right now. That's why I could not record this video. I'm out of space on my phone. I have to download our pictures from Turks and Caicos. And I'm going to be putting that video up too, of where we stayed. And oh my gosh, the place that we stayed, I don't want to mix that here. So, but I will be doing the Turks and Caicos video. This will be the last video on this channel. So if you're interested in following me, please come on over to Let Us Talk of Many Things. I'll put a link in the description box because it's not a very popular channel. And I know sometimes when you put in a channel name, if the channel doesn't have that much content, you can't find it. So I'll put a link in the description so that you can find that channel. And I'm just saying, I want you to, I'm hoping that people who are coming over have at least 1 or 2 videos on their channel. They have a picture. Or I know you from, this channel. I have a rapport with you from this channel already. Otherwise, I'm just deleting the subscription. I want to keep it small over here, less than 100. And I'm starting over. I'm starting over, and I'm starting new. I'm starting fresh. And that's what I want to do. I can tell you right now, in the upcoming videos, I'll be posting, and I hope to do it in this order, but the next video that you will see will be on Let Us Talk of Many Things, and it will be the video about Turks and Caicos and, how to save money when you go over there, where to stay, how to make it affordable, etc., because it's expensive. It's expensive. I got a pair of shoes I want to show you. I usually don't show things that I buy unless I think it's something really, 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 really cool. And everywhere I go, when I wear these shoes, people always comment and say, oh my gosh, where'd you get those shoes from? Oh, I like those shoes. And I've got 2 other pair of shoes where people they're like, where'd you get the shoes? I love those shoes. And I used to be a shoe hoarder when I was in high school, and it was a ridiculous amount of shoes. But anyway, so the next videos will be our Turks and Caicos video, the shoes that I got. Tomorrow, we will be making a recipe. I won't say what it is yet. And all that will be happening on Let Us Talk of Many Things. Now, even though I said I'll be deleting the subscription if you don't have videos, if you don't have a picture, and if we don't have a report, that doesn't stop you from coming over there to watch. You can still come watch, but I just want to keep the subscription numbers down. And the other reason why I'm doing that is because I think there's a lot of outside entities watching, and I get creeped out like that. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, 6,000 people. Who are these 6,000 people? Are they from the United States? Are they, what? Who's looking? Who's watching, And so I think people who aren't subscribed aren't very likely to come over and watch a video. And that's how I want to keep it. I only want people who are subscribed to come and watch. And if you've got videos, a picture, and I feel kind of bad, not really bad, but I feel kind of bad because I know not everybody makes videos. So because you don't make videos, if you love me that much, you'll just come on over and you'll keep watching, because nothing's to stop you from watching, even though I blocked the subscription, okay? All right, so anyway, that's all I have to say. Don't be bullied. Don't let it linger. If you're being harassed and bullied, this can take... If you're being harassed and bullied, nip it in the bud. Don't let it linger. Cut it off. You have a way out if you're being bullied. You don't have to wait on anything or anybody to do a cease and desist letter. And if that person continues to harass you, you can take them right into court if you've already done the cease and desist letter. And then let the judge make the decision as to what happens next. That person might be told you cannot exist on social media for the next year, 10 years, 5 years, whatever. Okay? Anything could happen. The judge could make any type of decision. So you don't have to deal with it. You don't have to suffer through being bullied and harassed. And I just finally said that was the last straw when this person came and told so many lies and said that, I was sending things to their home. I had told somebody that their products were bad. I'm like, who do you know that I know? I don't know a thing about what you sell other than what you say. Anyway. There was one other thing I wanted to say, and I forgot what it was. But again, you don't have to put up with this. You don't have to put up with being harassed and bullied. You should be able to come to this place, which is a workplace for many people. Come here, do your work, and go home. And those are the YouTubes I really appreciate. The ones that come here, do their work, and go home. They're not here talking about nobody. Nobody. They're not here bad-mouthing this person and this thing and that thing. Some people, that's their giddy-up. That is their MO. That is their way to come to the platform where they always talk about somebody. Always got something negative or bad to say about somebody. That's just the way some people exist. Hey, to each their own. That's not the way I choose to roll. Some people are mad at me because I come here with a smile and I try to be cheerful. And when I'm not feeling well or I'm just not feeling up to it, I don't come here. And it's funny how some people can say, if I'm feeling bad, if I'm not feeling well, I just don't want to turn the camera on. But if I come here because I don't want to turn the camera on when I'm at my lowest, and I come here when I'm happy and smiling, then it's a problem with me. But it's okay for them. It's okay for them to do that. But I can't do it because when I come here, it's, life isn't all that holly jolly. That people aren't always happy. Of course I'm not always happy, Sometimes I'm mad and I'm picking my belly button. And if I'm mad and I'm picking my belly button, I don't want to do that in front of anybody. It's funny how what's good for the goose is never good for the gander. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, I hope you all are enjoying your day. I'm having a marvelous day. I got an early, I guess you would call it a Mother's Day gift when I was taken to Turks and Caicos. Oh my goodness. Y'all, if you need to rest, if you need to be sedate, if your nerves are like this and you want to be like that there, go on to Turks and Caicos. I'm telling you, they must pump something through the air. Because the entire time I was there, I felt like I was floating. I felt like I was almost even high. And I don't drink. I don't smoke. Okay? But my Yahweh, I was on cloud 9 and slept for a full straight 8 hours. Didn't wake up once in the middle of the night. Not once. Had the windows to the bedroom. There were 3 balconies to the bedroom. A balcony on the left, a balcony on the right, a balcony in the front of the bed, and then 2 windows right there. All the windows open, and the breeze the trade winds that blow off of the ocean, that just blew right into our room, just knocked us out. And we all looking at each other wondering how and when we going to get back to Turks and Caicos. Listen. Beautiful, beautiful. I have never been on vacation anywhere and I didn't want to come back home. I've been to Jamaica, London, Paris, Louisiana, Atlanta, Chicago, South Carolina. Been lots of places. But when it was time to go, it was like, okay, time to go. Glad to be home. Nice vacation. When we got to that house that we stayed at, I said, I'm not going. I told my son, I told my husband, sell my ticket. I'm not going home. Call my attorney. I'm not going home. Tell my attorney to sell all my stuff. I'm not going home. That's just how I felt. It was so beautiful. But anyway, I'm going to run downstairs, peek in the kitchen, make sure everything's going okay. And, yeah, I will be back, not today, but tomorrow. I'm going to work on the Turks and Caicos video today, but I'll be back tomorrow with some videos, okay? So the next video you see from me will be on the Let Us Talk of Many Things channel. This will be my last video on everything fresh and sassy. And as I mentioned in the last video before this one, the channel name for that channel that I'm moving to is also going to change. I don't want to say what it's going to be. I want to do some things, you know. I want to make it good. I want to make it right, you know. So, yeah. I'm excited about my new channel. I really am. I'm starting over. I'm starting fresh. I have one view on that one short that's over there right now. And I'm starting over, and I'm glad about it. I'm happy about it. But the videos that are here now, they'll be here for at least, I don't know, at least 2 or 3 months. When I get a chance to address these videos, I'll address these videos here, because what I want to do is there's some food videos here, some informational videos here that I want to move over to the other channel, and I have to figure out, I have to learn how to do that. I know it's something simple, easy, but I just have to sit down and take the time to figure out how to do that. So I will be moving some things from this channel over there. But before I do that, I want to get things together over on the new channel. You know, things like an intro, outro, a banner. I want to get those things, and, you know, I got to get all that done. So I'm excited about starting this new channel. But for now, it's going to be called what it's been called for the last, I've had that channel for about 15 years now. No, not 15 years, about 9 years I've had that channel. Let Us Talk of Many Things. So it's going to be Let Us Talk of Many Things, but it's going to be changing, and you'll know when it changes, all right? Thank you for tuning in. If you watched this, if you stayed here and watched this entire video, thank you so much. Or if you came to watch the replay, I appreciate you, I do. I said I was not going to take that other video down, but it's getting a lot of traction and a lot of people are watching it, and that's not why I have it up. I don't have it up for a lot of people to watch. And oftentimes, once a video hits a certain number, I will take it down, because if it's not food, if it's not education, and it's drama like this stuff is drama, I don't want my channels to be known for drama. So I might take that other video down. This one I won't take down, because I want people to know this is how you handle cease and desist. This is how you handle bullying, harassment, etc. You don't have to put up with it. So I might make a copy of this video and put it on the new channel as well. The other video before this one, I might take that one down. It's got like 60 views. I don't want my channels to be known for drama. I don't want my channels to be known for drama and foolishness and remedial activity. I just don't want to be known for that. I don't. So that video may come down. This one will definitely stay up because I want people to know this is what you can do. All right? This is I Am Everything Fresh and Sassy. Stay close, stay tuned. I'll see you soon over on Let Us Talk of Many Things. You thought my camera froze, didn't you? Anyway. Sawubona emngani. Sawubona emngani. Nangalingalanga ububsuku. No beteng boy and bisiswani. No olo no tando. Dentanda no kimakai.